Good evening, everybody. Let's see, I've made an additional change, maybe not an additional, but a change on here. I've added the 34 EMA, which I used to have on here, and then watching Doug Campbell the other night reminded me that was a good indicator to have. So as we can see, the Dow, let's make this bigger. The Dow came back up today. Oh, it just seems to be a good indicator, just like the T-line has been a good indicator. Just seems to work well. And I was more apt to use it over in the futures area. But it, just like anything else, John, put it on your charts. If it works for you, fine. If it doesn't, take it back off. And the NASDAQ also. Staying above the T-line. I guess it is a fib number. So the NASDAQ staying above the T-line made things look good. And it looks like the transportation index is trying to base. Hasn't based yet, but it's trying to base. Crude oil looks like it's trying to do a J-hook type pattern. Gold, very wishy-washy in here. There's nothing to trade. And we've been short live cattle now for a while. We were watching to see if it was going to support today at the 50, which it didn't because it was getting close to being oversold. So just basically we put our stop right here. So you can see that's been a good trade. And it looks like lean hogs, after the inverted hammer, is now a good buy on positive trading from this level. The dollar, just having a hard time getting out of any sideways trend. Excuse me. Let's see if there was anything. Oh, coffee. Yeah, tickle. Coffee becomes a good short setup, especially if it opens lower tomorrow. Look at the doji that failed at the 50. Notice you're kind of sitting on this support level. Broke through this little uptrend support. That could be a lower open tomorrow starting to, yeah, the fatter one is the 34. The thinner one is the 20. A hairball. All right, we're going to kind of take a look at tonight. We're going to be, I was going to try to figure out what, we're going to be looking at a lot more patterns over the next few weeks. We might have some sessions for members looking at the different patterns. But what I'm working on right now is we're going to be doing, again the basics, not the basics, but the setup to how to prepare yourself to get ready to trade. A lot of people kind of overlook. They just go out and try to find a trading strategy and want to learn it, where they don't learn how to set themselves up mentally to be a good trader. So we're going to be doing that in the first week of June. Yeah, the first week of June. in January. And then after that, we're going to go after the different trading strategies. So we're going to kind of take a look at, one of those J months. So let's take a look at what we got. I put this in the afternoon newsletter today because this has been a highly profitable trade. Had the J-hook pattern, the breakout level right here. Again, that becomes a very obvious breakout in the sense you got a morning star with a booster. But this is why we always want to know what the parameters are of human nature. Look where we are. Doji, that far away from the T-line. What's our profit-taking strategy? If this opens lower tomorrow, we're going to start taking profits. Now, again, got huge profits in this, both in the stock and the calls. Now, we always want to know not only when to get into a trade, but when to get out of a trade. Here was one that had a very strong price move. Your best friend, gap up, a breakout of this resistance level. But for some reason, it opened down here today. I still have not seen why it opened down here, but it doesn't really matter why it opened down here. Closed out the position, because where should it not be trading if we're in a strong uptrend? Definitely should not be trading back below the low or the open of the strong breakout day. So where does that put you? Well, first of all, it doesn't even matter where it puts you. Just the fact that they gapped it back down below the previous day's open gave you immediate evidence that the bulls aren't there, that you want to be back out of that trade. Now, the reason I not like to point these out, that feel obligated to point these out, is there's been so many times in my history that I've got one and said, oh, finally, started buying here, got a great trade, this looks great. Then it gaps down, and the first thing I don't do is close out the position. So I sit there and hesitate. And after a while, it's like if you've got a pain in your big toe, you pound another toe so your big toe doesn't hurt so bad. I finally realized that after doing this a few times, owning something, having a gap down, there was only one thing you should do. The probabilities say close out the position so you can move on to something else. So anytime you see that gap down type of situation, close it immediately, because that's not the reason you were in that trade. The reason you were in that trade was it had a strong bullish move. We're going to be working on breakouts, and this is one of them. Notice you had this resistance level, the Morningstar signal, the left-right combo, and then a doji gap up. That pretty much told us we're probably in another move like this. So this is going to be one of those type of charts that we're going to use. That I got a lot of people coming back and saying, "Well, there's just so many good charts. How do I keep from being so confused and take advantage of charts?" Well, it might be that when we do our strategy sessions, looking at the different strategies, we might be going through about 12, 14 different strategies, but that's going to be way too many for any person. We're going to start looking to say, all right, each person should find 3 strategies that they like. Now, we got a bobble breakout here on GLYC, which just tells you you can stay long as it stays above the T-line. We've got a cradle pattern right here. I mean, observe the obvious. There wasn't any movement in 5 trading days where they opened and closed this stock at the same level for 5 days in a row. What did this tell you? That after this indecisive stage, they've told you which way they want to take it. Now what is it doing? Looks like it's breaking this downward trend channel. So that one is still a buy with the anticipation your next wave could be that same magnitude. Now, the reason I'm showing this is that one of your strategies may be just buy the breakouts. So when you can identify there's kind of a trend resistance and you've got a wave and then they break it out, we know what happens right here. There's been a drastic change of investor sentiment. That we've got probabilities now that go dramatically in our favor. That was Guess. We also recommended Maxwell. Notice how this one started out with a left-right combo, and then kind of your bobble breakout with a bullish flutter kicker. You keep a list or scan for stocks. I have started to, JJ, that anytime I see something like this, and it may have been activated by something like this, and the next day it didn't execute, well, at least I can see, put this on my breakout list, that I'm looking for the breakout. That once they break this downtrending channel, that usually tells you there's going to be a drastic new price move. So that's kind of along the same lines as I'll have a watch list for breakouts, just like I've got a watch list for fry pan bottom breakouts. Something you can't really scan for, but it's something that you can see setting up well in advance so that you can be buying right at the appropriate time when it does break out. So something like ANAB, which we would have bought today had it opened positive, but we've got this on our watch list. We can see there's a nice fry pan bottom. And where do we want to be buying? Probably up here somewhere, telling us that they are breaking out to the upside. And why are we wanting to break or buy things that are breaking out or confirming a pattern? Because we know at a fry pan bottom breakout, we're going to have a good strong price move. Then we also know what our classic is, which is a fry pan bottom breakout with a good strong price move, followed by a J-hook pattern, which is going to give us another good strong price move. So kind of calculating that from here to here is going to be equivalent from here to probably just above the $20 area. So we're getting pretty close to that. Let's see, why do I have not the... display daily value. All right, so it closed at $18.99. Looking for another point and a half to the upside. So percentage-wise, it's good for stocks. Percentage-wise, if you're trading the calls, at least you know where to start looking to start taking profits, because as we know, once they start going the other way, they'll go the other way pretty quickly. We want to be able to get out pretty much at the top. There was our breakout on DRNA. There was our left-right combo. So what's this telling us? The uptrend is still in progress. Where's our stop loss at this point? I don't want to see this trade back below today's low. On XNet, yeah, it's getting there. So that's why we're watching. First of all, you've had a doji sandwich, but you've moved that far away from the T-line. So it wouldn't be unusual to start seeing some consolidation, either pulling back or moving sideways, waiting for the T-line to catch up. But in either case, if you're owning the stock, the time value doesn't matter that much. If you're trading the options, as soon as you see signs of weakness up here, probably going to close out the options just so that you're not sitting in something that has high probabilities of consolidating or pulling back to the T-line area, which means that's going to eat up your time value. MTRX. Observe the obvious. Fry pan bottom with kind of a dimple right there. Broke out right here. Tells me got the prospects of another big move like this. MRTX. Broke out the other day. Look for a 45 degree off of here. A left-right combo. I see that's one of the big patterns. Which one did we just? Where did we see in the left-right combo? Oh, left-right combo right here. Left-right combo is a doji followed by a bullish engulfing signal. That combo right there is that little indecisive trading, the left jab followed by a big roundhouse right, telling you that's the direction they're going to take the next move. NVRO, coming off of a McMuffin, which is your Morningstar signal followed by a doji sandwich or a morning sandwich, your McMuffin. How long do you hold this one? Right now, you stay long as it doesn't close below the T-line. In situ, bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfing belt hold. If you're long, you stay long. If you're looking to go long, what's your criteria? You want to see it trade back up above this level. You want to see it break out, because that would get you out of this wave pattern going into the next wave. So there are times where if you bought it, you stay long. There are other times where the risk reward isn't as great until it breaks out into a new trend area. ALK. Look at all the dojis down here. Kind of your cradle pattern again. How long do you stay long here? As long as you don't see a sell signal and a close below the T-line. When you buy directional options, do you buy 70, 80 delta? JC, I don't buy deltas. Deltas don't mean a hill of beans when you're trading candlesticks, because if this is your dumpling top, you can figure that your delta has been affected by this lack of movement, has nothing to do with this movement. So when I'm buying options, I'm buying the options that tell me this stock is just about ready to break out for a big move. I don't care what the previous delta was. So you can see this fry pan bottom in ZUM. Well, your delta doesn't mean very much. But if it breaks out with another move like this delta had absolutely nothing to do with the decision making for the next price move. Still looking for this price move to kind of break out from here, or you could probably even be buying it on positive trading, getting through that area. Okay, oops, all right. And so on the coming out of a position, this is why you want to know what the probabilities are. This one looked pretty good in a downtrend. There was your bearish flutter kicker. Getting down here, what do you have? A Morningstar signal. Getting close. Yeah, the ticker signal is, I'll have to, I thought we had this resolved, which apparently we don't. This is LOXO. So what's this symbol? That's a Morningstar signal. So if you're short and you see a buy signal getting close to the oversold area, what's that tell you? That probably the probabilities have gone against you of being short. So this is very simple, that if this had opened positive and traded positive today, close out the position. AFSI, kind of the same scenario. Piercing signal, doji. You can see us kind of supporting it here, and you're in the oversold area. So what would made you close out the position today if you didn't close it out here? The fact that you're starting to see buying in this area, that when they were trading a positive, what was your probabilities? This was the buying area. But if you've been short, that's a good probability area to start covering your shorts. While we're here, we'll take a look at some of the biggies. Labu still can't get back up above the T-line. If it's failing, looks like it could come back down to the the 200-day moving average. Nugget, not going anywhere. So that just tells you, if you can look at this chart and say, well, I don't know whether it's going up or down. Don't see any buy signals, don't see any sell signals. It's just hovering around the T-line. What's it telling you about the direction? There is no direction. Just common sense says go on to something else. Tesla. Tesla failed. There's your kind of your bearish belt hold. An open lower. You can see the trend channel here. So what makes for a very easy entry strategy? It comes back down through the low of today. That's breaking out of this trend channel. You can be going short, anticipating a wave 1, wave 2, bearish J-hook pattern, wave 3. Amazon has been holding up well, but getting a little bit soggy. Notice your 45 degree after the big breakout from the off the 50. What's our simple criteria for holding on to this 45 degree? Stay long as it doesn't close below the T-line. If this started trading lower tomorrow and you're long, I'd close out any long positions. You can always buy it back if they turn it around and come back up above the T-line, but the probabilities are starting to go against you. Apple hasn't been able to get back up above the T-line. After your hanging man confirmation, you could be heading back down to one of these moving averages. NVIDIA, nothing wildly exciting. If you happen to be long, you just stay long because it's staying above the T-line. There's a couple more, and I forgot what they are. NVIDIA. Apple. All right, let's go to some that are showing you something. So setting up, Netflix, that's right. What am I thinking? Netflix, nothing. Which direction is it going? Sideways. And Goog, same scenario. At best, you can get ready to go short if this opens lower tomorrow, giving you a bearish doji sandwich. And notice where the selling started. Look what they did over here. Let's make this bigger. They gapped down below the previous day's open. And ever since then, it's traded lower. When they gap down below the previous day's open, like an LTM, I would suspect they're going to take it lower. Whoops. There's your bobble breakout. Very easy pattern to identify. Notice the sell signal right here on the resistance level, the 50. Hold back to the T-line. Came back up through. So if you took out the 50, what type of pattern do you have setting up? A J-hook pattern. Oh yeah, Jamie was just adding some of the biggies. I forgot Netflix. So you can be buying this one. Where's your next anticipated target? Probably up here because you have a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. LTM, you could go short on this if it opens lower, yes, because that would be setting up your bearish flutter kicker signal. There's your bobble breakout. Why is this a good pattern? Remember, the bigger the signal, the more compelling there's going to be a reversal. So I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one with the anticipation that if this is wave 1, the J-hook pattern should head up well above this level. And URA, same scenario. Notice what happened when it failed right up here. Pulled right back to the T-line, did a hammer, bounced off the 50, came back up. I'd be a buyer of this one if it comes back up through today's open, because that would tell me my J-hook flutter or my J-hook bobble breakout. Yeah, hold on to your individual ones, and tonight we're going to be going. I'll probably get most of them. So probably when we get done tonight, you just want to pick out one that you really need to look at. And the reason for that is I've got a ton here. RGS, this is another strategy that you can set up. Notice the inverted hammer, bullish engulfing right off the 50. What do you got? A wave 1, wave 2. This just becomes an extremely high probability trade setup that you're going to be bouncing off the 50. We also have the breakout setups. That if you could draw a line right down through the tops, and they gap up through that, a little trend kicker, what's that tell you about this wave? That wave's over, a new wave has started. That was on Kohl's, KSS. DSW, same scenario. Look at the trend right down through here, and then a trend kicker broke out to the upside. That tells you there's probably a lot more upside on DSW. AXTI. You kind of see there's a resistance level here, and you had a doji sandwich breakout. It tells you that it's going back up into this trajectory. I don't know how to make the tickers bigger. I'll call, and it seems like every time I call CQG tickers, they put this maroon line, which makes it hard to see that ticker. I don't know how to make them bigger. It's has something to do. Yeah, it has something to do with the resolution. So I'll keep working on that. Let's see. I'll have to ask them if they do that, if they have a watermark. I've just never talked to CQG. I've had them probably for 15 years now, if not longer. I may talk to them maybe once a year. All right, what else am I looking at? I don't think this is what I wanted. OSK. Same scenario. Look at your left-right combo inverted hammer, right smack dab off the 50. High probability trade set up on any positive trading from here. ADMS is one that we've been in. And notice where it broke out today, right here. Tells me wave 3 should be in progress. That's goofy. I put that way up over there. HZO, same scenario. Let's move this right up to there. J-hook pattern. High probability that this will have another 4-point run from here, taking you up to about the $26 area. Echo, ECHO, looks like it's trying to break out. Another one that I wouldn't be too afraid to be buying, especially after your kind of your hammered doji, bullish confirmation. Well, shove spots. What's happening here? All right. Polaris getting up to this level. So you watch this because there's kind of your little dimple. It's told you that from here to here is going to be the same as from here to here. So I'd be a buyer over in this area. Riot, R-I-O-T. Another one that has broken this downtrending channel with a doji, kind of a double doji sandwich. Another one you can be buying. That's a good looking chart. There's our slow curve breakout. Always want to keep looking for that slow curve breakout. That's where your big money can be made very quickly. HIB, another one where you've got kind of you got these things all over the place now. Oh, Shaw. Right here at the breakout of a fry pan bottom. Then it did the message. What do we want to look for on the message? Yeah, it's got to have something to do. I'll have to redo the resolution. But every time I do that, I've got dozens of icons on my screen that have to be moved around again. But when you have a message, what's that message tell you? They came in with lots of force, buying force. Then there was profit taking. So what are we looking for? For when the profit taking is over in that big strong up move. AMBA, AMBA, bouncing off the 200. This was, no, it's not quite the breakout. That may be in the wrong place. Juno, also getting to the point where if it gets up through this level, you want to be a buyer because that puts you into wave 3. Notice bullish engulfing followed by another bullish engulfing. All right, those are the kind of breakout setups. Those are the type of things that you want to keep an eye on. That's what Doug Campbell is good at, is finding those setups. There's a scoop site pattern setting up in our XDX. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading, coming from the Morningstar signal scoop type pattern. I've got GELD, J-E-L-D, another one that is broken out through this level. Good potential of more upside. Slab, I was watching this today and missed it with the kicker signal, and then it opened positive today, creating our bullish doji sandwich, which meant right in here you should have been buying stock or the calls. It just puts you in a high probability setup. SPAR, S-P-A-R, another one that can be bought on positive trading. You can see the bottoming action. This one did use the 34 as a support level. And MSI. Oh, man. Don't know what happened there, so we're going on. STRL. Same scenario. That slow curve breaking through this level. Get ready for the next move to the upside. CBIO broke out, and it took off big time. But this was another case where if you had to own this, I don't think it stayed up there very long. But the fact that they took it up there and now trading positive, what's that telling you? The profit taking is over. The buying is still there. You can still buy this one on the basis you got a fry pan bottom breakout that you could probably get back up into this level. And by that time, it might be up here testing that recent high. Jill, nice fry pan bottom. What do you want to do with this one? If it opens positive tomorrow, you want to be a buyer. That tells you got your fry pan bottom breakout into the gap area, making target more than likely the 50-day moving average. REVG. There's your Morningstar signal followed by a gap up, breaking this downward trend channel. Another one that more than likely is heading back up to the 50 and the 200. So the fact that they gapped it up from a signal, first of all, you got a little gap up right here after the doji. Being that's part of a Morningstar signal, that tells you there's a lot of force coming into that next trend. VAS, another one that's doing a Morningstar signal, broke this downtrending channel. Where do you think the next likely target should be? Well, they'll probably fill this gap. That puts you in the right direction. But I suspect they're heading up for the 200-day moving average again. Goose, J-hook pattern. You closed it out here because it was closing below the open. And you're buying back here or buying back here, knowing that it's doing the pattern that we would suspect it should be doing. Left-right combo with a booster. Kind of a big fry pan bottom. You can still be buying this one with the anticipation it's heading for the 200. Yeah, the one before Bass was REVG. And AEGN, there's your left-right combo again with kind of a setup for your J-hook. Another one I wouldn't be afraid to be buying. Notice how this breakout occurred with a kicker signal breakout. So just common sense says, what are we looking for coming out of a fry pan bottom type pattern? A strong bullish move. What's the strongest reversal signal of all? The kicker signal. So if you see a kicker signal coming out of a fry pan bottom, that's just putting all the evidence that we need together. Now you've got the next wave starting. Notice doji, 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 left-right combo. Anytime you see a left-right combo, that's just like your best friend. Anytime you see a best friend, you want to be really considered buying at the left-right combo, same scenario. This one broke out today on a little, not quite a bullish, but notice how flat it was. Now you got a bullish signal. That one you can be buying if you like it. SNCR. There's your McMuffin. Morningstar, Doji Sandwich, stochastics right here, which is a good implication that they're going to get through those moving averages because you still got a lot of juice left in the stochastics. And anytime you see a chart that you can really easily read, notice CALX, a kicker signal right off the 50, a bobble breakout. I mean, that's just as plain as day that this was a good reversal, good profit taking back in. Wave 1, wave 3 should be in progress. Best friend on AWI. I'd be a buyer of this one with the anticipation your first target is coming back up into this range, getting back into the trend. VRX, J-hook pattern. Observe the obvious. Where did this support? Smack dab on the T-line. Where do you want to be buying this one? If it breaks out through this level or opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying immediately. Where would you not want to see it close? Wouldn't want to see it close back below the halfway point of this candle because that would tell you they failed here. You come right back out of the trade. Let's see, we did RXDX, ITCI. Another fry pan bottom. You can still be a buyer of this one, especially if it opens positive and comes up through the 50. There's a gap up here. So got a good 17% upside. On the short side, just to have some safety in the portfolio, VERI can still be shorted on weakness. You want to see it get through this level. So if I'm shorting tomorrow, I'm just watching this level to make sure it gets through there. Maybe not tomorrow, but it needs to get there. If I see it start supporting at that level, close out the position. That tells me that's going to be a support area versus a hard sell-off. You can see BITA broke the 50 with a kind of a bearish doji sandwich. The Stochastic's still heading down. Where's the next likely target? Down here to the 200. Now, where's my safety stop? Right here. They open this positive and start taking it up. It's time to be out of that trade. PRTA, this is what we're looking for. These slow curve breakdowns. We're looking for things that are showing us very strong sell signals, like on CENX. There's your bearish kicker signal. Any more significant than any other bearish kicker signal? It's a strong reversal signal, number one. And number two, look where they failed, right smack dab at the 200. Where's the next likely target? Right down here at the bottom of this trend channel. SQM. Tried to buy some puts on this one at the close and didn't get them, but look what you're looking at. Dumpling top with a kicker signal, same scenario. What are we looking on the fry pan bottom? That strong kicker signal taking you to the upside. What are we looking on the short side from a dumpling top? The kicker signal knocking you down. Where's a good target area? Back down to the 200-day moving average. If this one opens lower tomorrow, you want to be buying or shorting the stock and or buying the puts. Evening Star signal on OMER, OMER. If this opens lower, we can be shorting it. We just want to see what it does here at the 200. But again, there's this gap back down here in this area that they can bring it back to. OMI. What did this one do on the slow curve? Failed at the T-line with a little kind of a kicker signal to the downside. Where did it close? Right there at the bottom. If it opens lower, what's it telling us about this level right here? It's not holding. We could be in a wave 3 to the downside. And ALDR, another one is telling us that they did a left-right combo right here at the T-line. Where's the next possible target? Back down here at the bottom of the trend channel. GNRX, that's not what we want. That's why. GNRC, little gap down doji right on the 50. Look at what did this tell you right here? Your uptrend was over. Notice what's happened ever since that signal. It's been in a downtrend. If it opens lower tomorrow, what's that telling us? They're confirming the signal, and they're telling you the 50 is not acting as support. Got good prospects of at least coming down here, filling this gap, which would put you in the right direction immediately, and then see what it does from there. And DVAX, same scenario. Let's get rid of all these. Notice all the dark candles. It's telling you it was rolling over. We're also right here at this stage. If it trades back below, where's your next target? Like 50% lower down here at the 200. All right, that's about all I got for tonight. Still watching some of these shorts, like BITA. If it opens lower tomorrow, we've got a bearish doji sandwich. Would probably take you right to the 200. But a couple that really look good that I've put stars next to. You've got the scoop pattern setting up on RXDX. Got kind of a scoop pattern. That could have a good slingshot effect to the upside. What was before that was GNRC. And Jill, nice fry pan bottom. Can you do a session on intraday strategy, when to close and hold till end of day to see whether it's a relation to the T-line? Big gaps up using the 10-minute chart. I've got this one down. Belt holds in progress. Yes, we can do that. I'm writing that one down. All right. Entry, exit trading on the 10-minute chart. Okay. Okay. Guess that's about all I got. Are there any general questions on candlesticks? You too. Thank you. Okay. If not, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. Let's keep the figures to 1. All right. Good. EWZ. No signal here, but a good gap up. So right now, because there's no reversal signal, the fact that they gapped it up would tell me as soon as it gets to the first resistance levels, I want to be a little bit more diligent as far as seeing if there's any sell signals there. CAH, that's a good short. If you're short, you stay short. Use today's open as your stop. Forget what this is. SVU, you can be buying this one. Want to see a little bit more strength. Just watch to see what it does at this level. So if you're buying this one on positive trading, look for your doji sandwich, kind of a little mini scoop in here. AAOI, that one you get ready to short if it opens lower tomorrow. Got to observe the obvious. It's in a downtrend, hitting the 34 at this point. If this opens lower, I would suspect it's coming back down into this range. And CELG, oops, not a real dynamic chart, just nothing major there. If you like it, it has to stay above the T-line. It closed back below the T-line, tells you the trajectory is gone. AVEO, another one that needs to see some strength. There's just nothing there yet. You're probably going to get back up toward the 50 before you see any major breakout. STX, this has done exactly what you would suspect it to be doing. This one can be bought on positive trading. You've got a doji sandwich, left-right combo, and a bobble breakout scenario. VIPS, the IPS. Oh boy, this one with the gap up. If you held on to it today after coming back down through the previous day's low, it has to open positive. If it opens lower, it's coming back to test at least the T-line, if not the 50. Remember, anytime they go through a resistance level, they'll usually come back and test it to see if it's going to act as support. Palo Alto, you stay long, but another one that you shouldn't see trade back below this level. If it does, it's telling you the 50 acted as resistance. It needs to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. Just not a real vivacious looking chart. YY, stay long. Nothing wrong there. CERS in the 45 degree. Nothing to do there except stay long as it stays above the T line. Mick, if you were short, you didn't cover it yesterday, you definitely covered it today when it came back up through this level. If you're thinking about buying, you don't buy this one until it does get back up above the T line. And big fry pan bottom. If you're long this one, you stay long. Don't let it close back below the T line. If it does, they're coming back down to test the 50, which means there's really nothing there at this point. Let's see, what did I just do? Oh. Let's see, Nick, AHC, that's that one, Chipotle. You can stay long, but it has to open positive and trade positive. If it opens lower tomorrow, I'd be ready to go short again. It's just not a, yeah, I'd be more apt to go short if it opens lower tomorrow. AMRS, you can be buying this one if it comes back up. Oops, it did stay positive. There's kind of your Morningstar signal breakout. You stay long on this one. Use the T line as your stop. For Russell, there's your best friend trying to break out through this level. You stay long on the Russell 2000. Blackstone, big long-legged doji. You can buy this one immediately on positive trading tomorrow with a doji sandwich breakout. Next target, look for the moving averages. CRZO, this one has to open positive. If it opens lower, then you're in a downtrending channel. Beazer Homes, it's a Morningstar signal. You can buy this one on positive trading, breaking out through this level and breaking or confirming your Morningstar signal. Harmony, HMNY, stay long, but if it opens lower, it's coming back to test this level, then your bobble is now with the 34 EMA. Another kind of bobble breakout. You stay long, just watch to see what this was. This is PRO, see what it does once it gets to the 50. A J-hook pattern setting up. You can buy this one on positive trading. Then just use the T-line as your stop. Teva has to open positive. If it bounces, if it trades lower, I'd come out of it, wait to see what it does here at the T-line. So your safety is that it needs to open positive and trade positive. AMD, nothing here. That's just a wedge in progress. If you like it, you can buy it, but just kind of assume you got a wedge going on. It needs to break out to the upside. Boeing. Nothing wild exciting here. You're kind of in a wedge also, but as long as you're above the T line, you can stay with it. Just don't let it come back down below the T line. Citigroup. Another one, if you like it, you can buy it on positive trading. Just watch more closely at the 50. Yeah, sometimes you have to push them a little bit, Doug, because it's more work for them to go out and short a stock. They got to make sure they have it in an account somewhere. So they should, as a service, I mean, worst case scenario, if they don't have the stock, they've got agreements with other brokerage firms to shift stock back and forth when they need it. Another gap up. These are your best friend. These are the type you want to really go after because the probabilities of being in a good trade are extremely strong. Anytime you see that doji gap up, you want to be buying it. Here's another kind of a breakout of a downtrend and staying in this upward trend channel. I'd suspect the top of the channel is your next target. Let's see. Did we do Palo? Yeah, just nothing wildly exciting about this one. Has earnings after the bell. Had earnings after the bell. All right, what did it do to the stock? Anything? What happened here? ALNY. Nothing wildly exciting on that one. It needs to get back up above the T-line. GM, you bought the calls. You're fine on that one. That looks like a big J-hook pattern. Notice how the tails of the hammer signals come down and bounce back up off the 50. Yeah, Nally is a good dividend yield. You can be buying this one, especially if it gets up through the 200. It's a small cap, MDY mid cap, moving away more than the big stocks. Yep. Is that normal? Not necessarily for the holiday week, but the longer your big stocks stay positive, the more confidence you get coming into the smaller stocks. Okay, went up. Let's see. Oh, Palo up $9, so it should be at around somewhere up around here, breaking out. All right. Oh, we did Tesla, didn't we? Tesla we did early. You can be ready to go short, especially if it comes down through today's low, breaking this channel. Schnitzer, bullish engulfing, doji sandwich, you can be buying this one. If I was buying on positive trading, I wouldn't want to see it close back below the 50. All right, as long as this market continues to not show any weakness, the ones that are acting well will continue to act well. So this one has just produced big profits. This is the type of situation you want to get caught in or get established in. But then you also want to know when it's time to take profits. And that's Sedge. You can stay long on this one. Look for positive trading, breaking out through this level, puts you up in the next wave. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. We will see you bright and early in the chat rooms tomorrow. We'll see you then.